Holly, how you doing?
Hi, I'm fine. I was raised as Catholic. Things happened within my own religion, or answers that I were given that I didn't think were judgment calls that people on earth were supposed to make. I believe there was an energy force of some kind. I believe maybe sometimes I called it a higher power. I don't know whether I believed that there was a God. I didn't believe necessarily in the whole thing. There were things I didn't choose, but I really didn't. And then I got very sick. I got hepatitis C.
Okay.
And anger, not in love. In anger, I said, okay, God, if you exist, prove it to me.
Yeah.
And I got three distinct things that happened.
Okay.
The third one was indisputable. The third thing, I couldn't ask for another vision or another sign because it was so in my face.
Okay.
There was no way to dispute it.
Okay.
The first thing was I go take my dog for a walk in a certain park, and I go there all the time. And I've been going there for 5 years. And I had just found out I had hepatitis, and I was asking this person that you don't believe in, that I now do, to prove to me that he existed. And I got out of my car, and I've been to this park so many times that, I know, and I take the same path.
Okay.
It was like the whole park looked like it had a glow light on it. I felt an unbelievable presence of love. It didn't make any difference where I went in the park, and believe me, I went to the darkest part.
Okay.
That it wasn't glowing and just absolutely beautiful. And I got in my car and felt overwhelmed. And then I said and it's never been like that before, and it's never been like that since.
Yeah.
Now, the next thing was, in November of that year, I went to another park. God seems to like parks. Anyway, I walked down into a grove of trees, and it was November. And actually, the butterflies should have been gone. And I was surrounded by about 25 monarch butterflies.
Okay.
They did not land on me. They just were surrounding. And I said, that was really good, so I'd like to see something else. At Christmas, I went into my garage and was trying to get my stuff out for Christmas decorations. And for some reason, I decided to straighten out a shelf that had nothing to do with what I was doing. There was no reason for me to do that. And I went through and found some books, and I was going through them, and I found a Bible that my mother had given me when I was a child. And I said, okay, that's it. Don't prove me anymore. I've got the answer.
Okay.
So I'm asking you, how does that happen? I mean, it was like I asked for in an argumentative form. I wasn't nice about my request.
Yeah.
If you don't believe, then where does that force come from? What was that?
Yeah. Selective looking at the world through a certain kind of lens can definitely put things there that aren't there, or give them them a meaning that may not actually be there.
But the Bible, it wasn't like I was saying give something a meaning. I didn't even believe when I asked that anything was going to happen that was going to make me look.
But how many people do have a Bible, tucked in a corner of their garage or
how many people go into their garage and are trying to get out something else and don't? I wasn't there to go look at what sent me to that shelf, what sent me to look through those books when I didn't even have to, or the things that were on that shelf. Why did I do that? I've been in this house for 5 years, and I hadn't done that before.
Yeah.
Well, I think if you're going to ask any atheist, it's a series of coincidences. It's possible that you saw the park through that light because you were feeling spiritual, or because it happened to be a full moon. The stars were very bright. There were no clouds in the sky, and Mars was very, very close. So there happened to be a lot of light shining down on the park that day.
I wasn't feeling spiritual. I was feeling angry.
Right.
And I was feeling angry at all the people that told me there was a God.
Yeah.
And I was feeling angry at God if he really did exist. And I wasn't acting in a spiritual manner, and I wasn't requesting the information in a spiritual manner, and I didn't feel spiritual.
And when was this again?
Huh?
And this was, I think you said, 2001?
It was in things have happened since then, but I won't get into those.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, but it was in 2001.
And again, over time, your mind can definitely take a certain experience and change the factors in it to make it seem more relevant than it was.
Okay, I'll grant that on the 2 park expeditions, but I won't grant it on the Bible one.
Okay. And as for the Bible, I mean, again, I see. I'm reluctant to answer this question because I believe that if it was important for you to find value in these experiences, then I don't want to take that away from you. And I believe that for most people who do believe in God, they believe in God because it gives them something that they're not getting somewhere else. It answers questions that they need answered, or it provides them with an emotional outlet that they can't find somewhere else. A lot of people just can't accept that when you die, that's it, you just die. So they believe in God because it's comforting. And so I don't want to take that experience from you. But I mean, if you're going to ask any skeptic-minded atheist, we're going to say, well, that Bible was there in your garage. It got there somehow. I don't believe it was placed there by God, because you said it wasn't just a random Bible that just showed up randomly. It was a Bible your mother gave you, and you put it in your garage a long time ago, and you happened to stumble across it.
I don't think he placed it there. I know that it was placed there. What I'm saying is that the timing was just very, whatever. But, I guess we'll all know the answer when we die.
Yeah.
You as well as I. It's like my viral load after these 3 experiences dropped radically.
Yeah.
And my doctor said, I don't know why this is or what happened.
Yeah.
But whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
Here's the thing, is for every person who has ever asked God for a sign and been given one, there's probably at least twice as many people that have been asked God for a sign and not been given one. For every person who has survived a disease or an illness or a hard experience, and because they asked God to get them through it, there are hundreds and thousands and millions of people who died from that same experience, even though they asked God for help. And, the religious answer to that is God works in mysterious ways. Well, if God doesn't want me to believe in him, then I don't, because he's never given me any sign that he exists. He's never given me any irrefutable sign. I'm not going to walk into my garage and notice that there's a mysterious glow and say, wow, there's a God. It's going to take a little bit more than that from me. It's going to take...
It wasn't a mysterious glow.
Some hard...
Karen?
Yes.
It wasn't a mysterious glow.
Well, that's the way you described the park experience.
The first Bible is the one that got me.
Well, the first park experience. I'm not going to walk into a park and notice there's a mysterious glow and say that's irrefutable evidence
more than that
there's a God. I could say that's irrefutable evidence that something's going on. There could be a full moon. There could be very few clouds in the sky. Maybe a park lamp went out somewhere nearby so the stars are shining more light.
It wasn't night. It was during the day. There were no park lamps. It was not a sunny day particularly. It was kind of overcast day.
The point still remains, though, that again, if this is an all-powerful, loving being, I would prefer some better way to show it than through, relatively cryptic messages.
The point was that because so many other things had happened besides this, and this was just like another brick on top of a huge pyramid of things, that I finally got so angry that I asked for proof of an existence. And I was totally ready to believe that I would get no proof, and that I would then, therefore, be able to believe what I believed, that there was no existence.
Yeah.
But instead of that happening, the reverse happened. And
but again, in the back of your mind, you did have that question that there is something out there. What are you asking, and who are you asking if you don't believe? Do you not think there's some
sort of energy force in the world?
I don't have any belief in that. I don't.
So you don't believe there's any energy force in the world?
Well, there's energy.
Not in the kind that you're...
Not spiritual energy.
The Earth itself rotates all the time. We're continually going around. But
that's gravity,
magnetic force all over. So you don't believe in any of that?
There's all kinds of different... No, we believe in anything that can be scientifically proven.
Well,
we believe in matter, energy, gravity, magnetism. We believe in that kind of energy. I believe in... what was it? Newton's third law, that energy can neither be created or destroyed. I believe in that kind of energy. I don't necessarily believe that there's some, spirit with a long white beard floating up in the sky controlling the things that we see and do. I believe in biology. I believe in science. I believe that things happen for a reason, and when I say that, I don't mean that things happen for a spiritual, religious reason because somebody's hovering over me controlling it. I believe that they happen because of some biological process.
It because he's giving you free will.
That's a totally different subject that could take up an entire show, and I think that we should move on to the next caller. But we appreciate you calling in with your experience. We always appreciate hearing people's experiences, and honestly, honestly, if it's something very personal that happened to you, you're never going to be able to prove it to somebody else.